Welcome back to our Scala class. We have just made a simple nim game, the basics of the game which work, and let's do a little bit of refactoring. So maybe we'll be ready to move on to maybe slightly more complex features. So the idea is to create a class which will hold all the one game information about a single game in a single object which you create from this class. So we'll call this to do classwork, right? Classwork exercise, to do exercise, create class nim game, right? Class if you have a shorter name, you are free to, if you can come up with a better name, please do, right? I don't know a better name. So this class objects created from this class will hold all information particular to a single game of nim, right? Again, this is the easy version, right? So this includes all of this information, right? All this information. So you will have to create probably here. So probably here to do create a new object holding all the information necessary for a single game of nim, for a game of nim. So from this nim state, nim game or nim state, right? I'll maybe call it nim state or nim game, right? Or just nim maybe, right? We could call it like nim, perhaps, maybe easier, right? Let's do it nim, right? Or you can call it, or nim game or nim state, right? I'll call it class nim, right? It'll be easier, right? So this will represent a single game, right? Using from this class. Okay, naturally then you use that, so you have to use it here in the main loop, right? We'll use it and then we'll print. So what methods do we need? So we need create two methods, right? So create at least two methods. One will be move, right? Will be move, which will actually will perform a safe amount of a move of units allowed by the rules of the game, right? So on second method would be to print game status, right? So how many matches are in the pile, whose turn it is, and the winner, the same method, right? So game status. I mean, let's call this method status. Show status, right? Something like this, right? We'll call it perform move or move pieces, right? Move or remove, maybe we call it remove, right? Remove matches, maybe. Let's right. This will be show status, right? So to do, right? That's right. Yeah, and I thought, of course, right. And third thing, this is a bonus. Those who are really third option, third extra. This will be bonus. Add this objects created from this class should also have a buffer array buffer of moves, right? So then this I just thought of this idea, right? On, so each time remove match is called, or this buffer is updated. So we have, so thus we have an exact basically log of game moves, right? Right. So that would be a bonus, right? So you need to create another thing. So remove matches, right? So on print game status. So we would do, so here we would play the game, right? We would perform, so here to do print game status, right? And here, right, again, so print game status again, right? So on what else? So here, right? So here this would be to do replace this with remove matches method call. Right. New game. Yeah. So this would be, you know, create something like this. You know, something like a val, again val, right? Because it's a game. You know, in game maybe, right, or something nim game, right? And will be, you know, appropriate, you know, on, you know, to do, right? So something for you to do, right? Okay. Okay. So I think you got the idea, right? So just to separate, so again, this method, so logic, this class, right, should not, so no logic, do not include any, well, there's not any, you know, any, well, we'll talk about this. So there's no need for, we don't have any currently really any game logic because we only have PvP, right? So we'll talk about this, but this idea of this class, right, this nim class is to store everything necessary for a single game. Okay, so remove matches, two methods, have the variables, and you have to instantiate here. You create a new object, right? Yeah, from this class nim, right? You know, something like this. New, of course, new, right? Yeah. Again, if you want, right? You could use a case class as well if you want, right? But it's slightly probably right. Right. If you want, you could use case class if you want, but no real benefits here. Well, if you want, yeah. Again, there's not much difference. Just remember some things, how you have to call the values and variables, right? So that might be a good practice also as well, right? Again, either class or case class, right? Remember, case class has some extra stuff added which might not be relevant here, right? So let's see, that's it, right? So we have print game status, right? By using show status method, right? Yeah, on, you know, okay, right? Yeah, matches, right? Okay, so that's the exercise.